My name's Alison Wordington. I'm the lead candidate, mayoral candidate for Eurobodalla Greens. I'm very happy to be here. Just a little bit about me. I live in Maruya. I have done since 2014. I love where I live. I loved the Eurobodalla when I got here and I wasn't able to leave. I'm a small business owner. I've got a small online business based in Maruya with a production in Maruya of reusable menstrual and incontinence pads. So I just employ one person and happy to keep the product here and Australian made. I also work in retail in Maruya and I come from a history of working customer service roles, much in hospitality and tourism because I choose to live in very beautiful places outside of the cities and that's the kind of work that I've been able to get. I've mentioned that I'm here with the Eurobodalla Greens and that's a shortcut to who I am and what we stand for. If you wanted to, you could go and see Greens New South Wales policies online, and they do have local government policies. And they just form a foundation and give us a bit of direction if needed. But it's certainly not a mandate that we take to our communities. The 4 pillars of the Greens worldwide are social and economic justice, environmental and sustainability, peace, non-violence and disarmament, and grassroots democracy. So you can trust that we'll be living out those principles in everything that we do, but ultimately we're here to represent community, and that's why I'm standing up for council. I'm also very driven to run for council because we need a change, and I think that everyone on this table agrees. I want to be part of that changing of the guard, and yet I want to be part of a redefinition of council. Let's call it changing from guardianship to custodianship. We can talk about as many policies as we want to implement here tonight, but unless we bring the community with us and have a true engagement and good relationship with the community, we'll go nowhere. I want to be a part of rebuilding the trust of the community in council, and I want you to help us know when we're doing that and when we're not. There's a few questions here that do extend beyond the capacity for yes-no. Thanks for acknowledging the constraint of the style of question. One that I'd like to address is the formation of committees. Yes, we need to revise the committee structure. They've been weakened and a whole lot of good people have walked away from advisory committees, sadly. Let's hope we can get some of those good people back. But let's not lock into a particular model of how we're going to do committees. I think we need to step into the 21st century, acknowledge that we are operating in an ever-changing environment with regards to technology. We're constrained by our geography here in the Eurobodalla, and I'll finish on Eurobodalla.
Hi, I'm David Gray I'm the mayoral candidate for the Labor team. Many members of which are here, so feel free to come and talk to us after the event. I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for organising this event. I was briefly the president of the Chamber of Commerce when the new Stockland Centre opened up. I know the joys of being a small business person in Maruya, in Batemans Bay. I used to run Smith's Music. I also know the difficulties as well, and I think we need to be kind of very aware of that. We want the council to be a partner with the Batemans Bay community. We want to be talking about openness, honesty and transparency, which I know everyone here wants as well. We need change. We need to make a difference because we can't go on in the way we're going on. We have looked at how we're going to do that, and we have a 90-day plan, which you can see on our website. That plan has been done with the passionate involvement of the state, of people in the state, in the local branches. We are a local group. We work as local people to actually make sure that we get things for our community. That's how we work. That's what Labor's about. We work locally. We don't want any more surprises. There are too many surprises at the minute by the council. We had the community centre. Oh, that's a big surprise. And then we had the tourist centre. Oh, another big surprise. In Mogo. Quite interesting there. Yeah, we've got a bus depot, another surprise. All of these things foster distrust. They foster anger. They foster all the types of things we don't want in our community. What we want in our community is a partnership, a feeling that we are all involved together to make sure that we get the best out of a most beautiful shire. We want a level playing field. One of the things that's happened with the Bay Pav is that many of the gyms are finding it very difficult to understand how they're going to survive with a new gym in the Bay Pavilion. We want a level playing field. We want to make sure that when small businesses open up, they know they're not going to suddenly find themselves competing with the council, being able to use its power to kind of undercut them. That is not fair. That is not how we get partnership with the community. We also, in that line, we also support a strong and influential business and tourism committees. The way we get partnership is by actually inviting the community in and asking them to share their wisdom with us. We have lost that. I think we need to start now to get that back. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's really heartening to see so many people here who are interested in our democracy and the future of this shire, and I would have been depressed with an empty hall, so thank you for coming. A little bit about me. I'm Karen Starmer. I came to the Eurobodalla in 1999 with my husband, Dr. Neil Starmer, who joined Queen Street Medical Centre. We have loved and lived this place, reared our children here since then. My family background is small business. My professional background is I was a financial markets trader for an international bank for 10 years. And then when I came to the Eurobodalla, I started my career as a volunteer. So I volunteered here for 20 years in many sporting and cultural events. I have felt firsthand the council turning its back or being completely unhelpful in trying to organise events here. These days I'm a journalist, so I am trained to ask questions. More importantly, I'm trained to listen. And listening is part of understanding, it's sharing, and I don't think council is doing very much listening anymore. As a leader, as mayor, I would work to restore the balance in the chamber. I feel we've swung too far to our public servants, and I would work to gather our 9 elected representatives, collaborate and drive what the people want, because we're the representatives, back towards our public servants. I'm a representative of the main team. There is 4 of us on our team. We have no padding. We have no business or commercial interests that would benefit from any decision by council. We are not beholden to any backers or any parties, so we're free to vote on merit and on information. I've much to say on the items that the Chamber has intelligently put up and really crucial to this shire. Issues like youth retention, affordable housing and council supporting business events. In essence, there's one figure that I think we have to address, and it's in the council's own snapshot of 2021. The projection for the employed working people in this shire is 50% in 2036. It is key that we increase the number of working people. We need to attract people. We need to retain people. And by having a higher working population, our events, our businesses, our hospitality will thrive. People want to stay here. And I have a vision that we can be a true leader in the most livable shire in this country.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having us here this evening. Rob Pollock's my name. Obviously for my sins, as has been outlined by all, I'm the current Deputy Mayor. I was elected to this council in 1987 and I've been there ever since. I was a small business owner. I moved with my family from Melbourne to Potato Point, and my business was a Mexican restaurant in Badalla. And then in 1991, I think 91 or 2, we moved that business up here to Batemans Bay for about the next 12 years. I've employed a lot of people within this shire. My children were educated here, and yes, they did move on for other career opportunities, which has happened, of course, to so many. The only way we're going to retain people is to have a more vibrant economy. We do have to make provision for expansion in terms of housing and business opportunities. But what we have learned from the bushfire situation and the COVID situation is that people are way more flexible. There's far more opportunity for businesses and people to run businesses on a remote basis. So it's getting the infrastructure in to back those people up, whether it's communication, whether it's high-speed broadband, which we all saw collapse dreadfully during the fires, and it's making those sorts of infrastructure decisions that make us more resilient and able to cope with disasters that may befall us. Those disasters have had an immense impact on all of our communities, and obviously the council and its responsibilities in restoring those situations. I think overall, if you look at what we have achieved over the last couple of years, your council has served you very well in terms of restoring roads, bridges, and indeed making the whole situation far more resilient than it was beforehand. We've seen nearly 20 bridges replaced by concrete bridges. Unfortunately, of course, the old timber ones were burned out. I have a vision for this council to be respected and to represent you on this council. One of the great joys and satisfactions I've had from this council and the work of being a councillor is that you can help people. Many people only deal occasionally with council, and it's quite daunting when they do come up. So helping folk through that process is one of the most rewarding things that I've been involved, and I certainly plan with my team on continuing that attitude to council and being responsible in all of the ways we go about it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'd like to say thanks to everybody for turning up here. My name is Tubby Harrison. I moved here in 1994 with my wife from Cairns in Queensland with our 2 young kids, and we bought a small produce store in Maria called Harrison's Horsebed Rural, which we built up and sold in 2015. Sorry. I'm currently a chair of a national multi-million-dollar turnover company. I have served on many local communities, local community organisations. I served the Jockey Club, sorry. I've served on the Jockey Club since the late 90s. I've served as a treasurer. I've served on the Maria Chamber of Commerce as vice president for probably 10 years as vice president. I also was one of the organisers for a event we ran in Maria called Slow Food, out of which morphed the Sage Sustainable Garden. That's one of the things that I'm fairly proud we've done. I also work at the local show, and I do put up the Christmas decorations. I've done the Christmas decorations down in Maria. Me and Colchester have done them since the late 90s as well. I am passionate about this Eurobodalla Shire, and I believe that the representations for residents of this Shire has not been heard from by this council. I am a can-do man, I'm a go-to man, and I believe that we can get things done if we all work together. The main aim for our group is we need to open this Shire up. We need to get back to having meetings live streamed. We need to get back to having question time open. We need to build respect of the community in the Shire so they can see what we are actually doing. We don't need what do you call them? What they go beyond commercial in confidence. We don't need those sort of deals. We need to be open and honest. What we don't need is we don't need big party politics either. Nothing against the people here, but we're a local group, a local community, and we should be led by local people, not have our hands led from Sussex Street or Canberra. A local independent mayor should be there to talk to both parties in state politics, but if you're tied to one party, you'll only get one side of the state politics. And just quickly on we do need to, this is a tourism town, and we do need to get these tourism things open.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming tonight and thanks to the Chamber for hosting as well. My name is Matthew Hatcher. I was the standing president of the Chamber of Commerce up until recently when David took over. I moved to the Shire 20 years ago, next week actually, and with my wife who's from Tomlinson originally, and her family dates back another generation as well. I'm standing for council because I'm not going to sit back in a place that I love as much as this place and watch it continue to be misrepresented by its council. For the last 5 years I've been on our Chamber of Commerce and the executive, and we've constantly found ourselves banging our heads against the wall trying to get things accomplished, finding avenues in, and I'm very proud of the group standing behind me as well. There's an amazing amount of support I have from both this community further south, but also the people who have also put their hands up on my ticket. We're a diverse group, 5 women and 2 men, but in age ranges as well. And I think if you have a look down the ticket, you'll see that there's very smart, intelligent people who've decided to put their support behind me, and I'm really excited about the possibilities of being the mayor, but also bringing some people along as well. Our group, on the back of that is also, sorry, just about myself. 2 years ago, just after the bushfires, I founded a group called SOCODELO, or South Coast Nations Logistics, and just after the fires, when that started, that was really the turning point in my life that I decided, with a young family, if I'm going to stay in the Shire and remain here, I'm going to put my hand up and we're going to make it better, because we've got a long way to recovery. And I know firsthand that our council let us down after the fires, and councillors let us down as well. There was not much leadership, and I can tell you many times where our group had our hands tied, where we were left frustrated that no one was willing to do the job that needed to be done for the community. Our group wants to see a council that want to work for and with the community, and like David said, and the Chamber, we want to see advisory and business committees coming back on, using the brain power that we have in this Shire to work with. We should be listening to community organisations and bringing them along for the ride. Communication coming out of council needs to be better. There's a lot out there at the moment, but we've got to make sure that the community is there by our side the whole way. We're retaining local youth and creating jobs in the Shire is very key to the hospitality and tourism industries. We want to see council working with event organisers more and promoting more events in the shoulder and low seasons and in the ecotourism as well. And community council assets and community assets, we want to make sure that we're not selling off anything that was donated to this Shire. There's plenty of examples where we're just getting rid of those assets. So thank you.